All right. Well, hello there, Chick Chat. We are back with the last installment of Jersey Shore for the year.
Crazy, huh?
Crazy. We don't have an intro again, so sorry, but we'll start having them again. Sister Wives is coming back, so we're going to go back to our regular format of just regular videos, so we won't be live as often unless something pops up. I mean, if Love is Blind is interesting this season, we might come back live, but it's the only thing I can really see us coming back live for. So,
agreed. We will also be covering Cody Brown as long as he is on Special Forces within our Sister Wives videos as well. Just probably 5 or 10 minute reactions to how stupid he is. And then I'm sure we'll cut that out as soon as he's gone. He keeps making it sound like he's going to be there for a while, but I'm also hearing a lot of rumors that he's not. So stick around. Definitely don't forget to subscribe if you have been watching just our Jersey Shore videos. We cover lots of other reality shows as well, but Sister Wives will be our next big project. So we will get into it.
Yeah, so this reunion, as our title says, really could have been an email. Yeah. Or as our Sister Wives watchers, an email. But they start this whole thing off with kind of like, again, Ron and Sam. Like this whole part of the reunion, the first episode was kind of a lot of Ron and Sam as usual. Mm-hmm. They even put them next to each other. Like, I thought that was hilarious.
Look at her little chair too. I just think it's so funny when they do this to them and they just make them like a person. But yeah, she could have easily went here.
I would have been so scared of knocking that thing over. I hope that thing's really secured on there.
I know.
All I kept thinking about is I'm like, if Ron laughs really hard one time, that thing could fall over.
I know. Yeah. And so
Polly's there too in spirit.
Yeah. Why didn't Polly get a television of himself?
I think he knew it was going to be boring. You know what? That's the thing. This whole show is a reunion. So I don't know why we get a reunion of a reunion, because it's really like a family reunion every time that they get together. So I don't know.
This is a labor of love for Ann and I today. I mean, I don't think that this needed to exist. It certainly didn't need to be 2 parts.
For sure.
We are here to cover it and to, see this whole thing through with you all who have been following. So it'll be short, it'll be sweet, but we're here to cover what happened.
Unless y'all have things to say to us, let us know in their chat. We'll definitely discuss with you.
Be our guests.
They did pick each other's favorite moments of each other. I wasn't really keeping track, if they did the whole circle go around, but the spiraling was a favorite moment, I think, of Ronnie's.
Yeah, this was actually Nicole's favorite moment of Ron. Okay. Which I thought was kind of interesting given that Ron is sober now. I mean, I know that we don't have to pretend as if his life, when he was drinking didn't exist, of course. But I just feel like it's kind of a backhanded thing to say my favorite moment of you as a sober person is when you were drunk. But this was a classic. It was hilarious. Definitely one of the best little moments. I wouldn't call it a scene, but definitely one of the best moments between the two of them. And I just thought that this quote was so funny from Ronnie that the drink could have flooded a small country, because that's why it fell. I mean, it was just too big.
Yeah, she couldn't
What
even
were they thinking?
She couldn't even stand up. I thought it was interesting that everybody's favorite moments of each other was either from the original seasons or the first season of Family Vacation for the most part. So maybe Angelina, because she wasn't involved in either of those things really.
Right. I don't think I saw a memory of her or her pick a memory.
No, she picked one of Mike, but it was one of her sitting on a cake. And that was her favorite one. And I'm like, Angelina, that was you. That wasn't a memory of yourself. All Mike said was oh, girl.
Mike's reaction. Yeah.
Okay, girl.
Yeah. But yeah, so they talked a little bit about, like you said, Sam and Ron and their whole situation, how they have been able to tolerate being in the same room and even mentioning each other's names in the same room with each other, specifically Sam. And because of that, we did also get Ron finally congratulating Sam, although I still wouldn't call this an acknowledgement of each other. I mean, he didn't even look at her screen, first of all, which was right next to him. And this is not happening in person. So I wouldn't call this necessarily an acknowledgement or congratulations, but I guess it's like cracking the door open.
Baby steps, Brooke. Baby steps. He said her name. Congratulations, Sam, to Sam. It wasn't just a, hey, how are you? Like, although I almost feel like that was more personal, but jingle out.
I think so. They were at least in person and facing each other in the same direction.
Yeah.
So they go over the
flashback of the clip of her saying, like, I don't even talk bad about Ron. And I just think Ron's blink was so funny. Like, I'm so glad they played that so many times where he was like,
I know. Well, that they slowed it down and everything into slow motion. I mean, that's, again, one of the moments that the production actually adds to the show more than
it reminds me of that meme of, like, the blonde guy that's like,
yes, exactly that. Yes. So they do get into the Cape something. They went to this Cape place. It was also the farming trip that they took when everything was haunted. And they do play a little bit of a prank on the cast. They have Angelina pull out her little ghost app on her phone, and it starts saying all these bizarre things. And
you could tell it was scripted. I mean,
you could totally tell it was scripted. It was just like the alien prank when you could tell that was completely off as well.
Yes. And they had like the thing jump out, and that was kind of funny. I mean, Polly laughed, and you know, I mean, I don't know. This was so like gimmicky. I felt like this whole reunion. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but
no,
you know,
Justina
right. was there to ask her questions, but what was there to ask? I mean, this whole season was pretty much self-explanatory. The only thing to really get into was the whole toddler thing. Which
the toddler thing, I think, circling back, you know, maybe to see if
there's for that, because that was the only dramatic. I mean, the way that they teased everything, they made it seem like they were going to fight with each other at some point, like the girls or someone else. Just the way they were teasing things,
which they usually do,
right? But they didn't really. The only thing that kind of happened was, you know, Dina said that Nicole and Ronnie stunk when they got back, and Nicole was like, "You stank." And they're like, no, I'm just saying you guys stunk. Well, she's like, girl, you said it 3 times. Like, I don't like being told that I stunk.
I know.
And I was like, okay. But honestly, the best part about this reunion to me was Nicole's hair. Like, her hair looked great. I loved the color of it. I don't know. I thought she looked amazing. Like, I really like that color. I'm going to take this to my hairstylist in about 4 months and say, I want that, because they won't match my extensions right now that I have to wear for, you know, my newborn photos, but with my child.
Right.
I do like this color.
I do. I think it would look great on you as well. So I'm excited to see that happening for you.
Yeah. But I mean, Vinny took some L's, I will say, this reunion with Sam and kind of everybody else. He is a chooch. They had him, you know, reenact some things, like just the things they were doing, like, oh, let's all put a performance on for Jenny and see if she'll cast us in her movie, the next movie that she already made.
I know. It was all that.
Yeah, I'm just so glad that Jenny admitted that she did not have, like, pretty much that whole movie was improv, because I have seen a lot of reviews on this movie, and like the show made it seem like she did this great job, which, you know, honestly, for a first-time director, she probably did do okay. You know, I mean, I couldn't direct a movie, so I'll give her that. But I saw a lot of people say it wasn't a great movie, that there was like no structure to it, that they didn't even really understand what the storyline was.
Right.
And I kind of felt like there was a storyline at first. Django, no. When it came to her, like, trailer. I don't know if anybody's ever watched the trailer, but it seemed like there's a storyline. But then when you look at all the comments under it, people are like, yeah, this wasn't a good movie. Like, I couldn't even get through this movie.
She made sure to talk about a clear beginning, middle, and end, which I think is her taking feedback from, you know, what people are saying about it. And you're right. I completely agree. I'm glad that she took some accountability for that. I'm a little bit confused. I understand that you came from reality TV. That makes sense. But don't we all know that movies have a script? I'm a little bit confused as to how and good for you. That I think that should be inspiration to anybody who thinks that they might have more knowledge than Jenny, and literally no shade on Jenny. But how do you say to yourself, I'm going to become a movie director, and you don't actually even know that they have a script and that you're responsible for either coming up with it yourself or paying somebody to come up with it? That's part of the deal.
And have any of you watched it? Because I'm just curious, because now knowing that there wasn't even a script for this movie, I almost think probably the actors did really great for doing that totally improv.
Vinny should have been on it. Everybody keeps jumping up like, oh, I have all these acting skills, or I want to be in your next movie. Vinny's the only one who has improv skills. He should have been on it.
He could have been, honestly. I mean, it sounds like this movie, it sounds as if this movie really wasn't that great, which that's fine. I mean, it's her first movie. I couldn't direct a movie. I'm sure she funded the movie. But to show up to a movie that you're going to do as a horror movie with zero script, yeah. I mean, it's like The Office, basically, right? Like, everyone's just improvising. I mean, even The Office had a script.
People were in general, yeah.
Yeah. Right. I mean,
and maybe that's what she's saying. Maybe she had an idea of an outcome and what she wanted it to look and feel like, but that's an idea. I mean, that's just the beginning, and to make a whole movie off of that, I think is very impressive. That's like, I'm not saying any shade to Jenny here, but I think that it should also be inspiration to anyone who's telling themselves that they can't do something, because man, if you can direct a whole movie without a script, you can do a lot of things. Okay. Y'all.
There's no excuses out here. You know what I thought was also funny about Jenny during this, like, especially the first episode of this reunion, I didn't really catch it as much in the second half, but anytime that any of the girls would talk, because, she could like look at them, especially Angelina or Dina, she had this weird look on her face. Like she was in awe of them. Like,
I wonder if I can find it anywhere.
I thought that was so interesting. Well, either of them spoke, it was just like, she was looking at them like she was in love with them. And I was shook by that. I was like, Jenny, are you good? Did someone give you a Xanax before this or something? Like,
you know what I did notice about Jenny that I thought was also a little bit different about at least the way that she's usually, showing up. She seemed to be sitting next to Angelina almost as a helper person. Like, kind of how we saw her in the beginning of the season. Yeah, and we saw her in the beginning of the season show up and, bring her into the room so she could take accountability and then eventually go to therapy or whatever. But it seemed like she was that here as well. Every time Angelina got really revved up, Jenny would be the first one to jump and even just quietly sort of validate her and reassure her so that everybody else could move on. And I think they finally figured out how to deal with Angelina after 15 years. So
we're a support animal now.
I never thought in a million years that it would be Jenny.
I do, like, I think Jenny says it later on, but that they kind of react similarly to things. Like, they both are very fiery. So maybe it is right that it's Jenny. I don't think anybody else can relate to Angelina in that way. I mean,
I completely agree. I think it shows a lot of growth in Jenny, honestly, that she can come full circle.
She's got 3 kids in the house. She's got 2 kids and 24. I mean, she's
Are you bringing up the toddler thing now too? I feel like that's what we need to.
She's good at it. I mean, but her kids are a little older, probably more where Angelina's at than the toddler thing. I mean, I know the toddler thing really pisses Angelina off, but yeah, let's get into the toddler thing. I mean, that's the real thing that happened this season is they replayed this clip, and I started to wonder, like, did Dee not watch? It sounded like Angelina did already see this scene before they played it, but then Mike didn't know that Pauly called the band. So I was like, did y'all see the show or not see the show before this?
I think possibly they see some of the show, but they don't see everyone else's edited in like confessionals like this. Now, I still don't know how Mike wouldn't know.
I swore Angelina, maybe like y'all correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I swear Angelina did see the confessional before the set, because she's like, oh yeah, she called me a toddler. Like, and then they played this clip, and she wasn't happy about that. So I don't know. I'm confused, but maybe somebody else can tell me either in the comments on the replay or, in our chat. But yeah, I mean, they played this scene, which honestly, it's probably my favorite scene of Lauren's that I've ever seen, of her explaining, like, I have toddlers at home, and if they once they start
conditioned to wrap my arms around and collect them. I loved the words that she chose. I loved all of this, and so I was happy to see it
written again. Now this is the new note for me. This should be on a shirt. Like,
honestly, yeah, I have a toddler, so I am just conditioned, and that it should just stop there.
Someone needs to make this shirt for me for when I have a toddler, so that I can be like, I am just conditioned. Scoop them up.
Yes, and speaking of the toddlers, Lawrence has tucked her toddlers in, and she has made her way over to the reunion in a pretty cute little outfit.
But the way they tease this, like, what was that? I'm so glad I watched both episodes back to back, because I was like, I already knew it was going to be Lauren anyway, but I was like, man, if I had to wait a week for them to just bring out Lauren of all people, like, y'all got me effed up. Like,
it's really a disappointment that they even make these reunions anymore. I hope that maybe at the 15-year mark, they can just stop with the reunions, because the fact that, like you said, the entire show is a reunion, that is the premise of all of it. That's the purpose of Family Vacation, is a reunion of all of them. So I hope that they stop doing this after this one.
Yeah, especially if there's no drama in the show. Really,
right?
Like,
and the drama in the show gets squashed. And I know in the past at these reunions there have been some arguments and drama that pops up that sort of informs the next season, but that didn't happen here, and I don't really foresee it happening here much more. I think this really is a lighter, more comedy-based show where, yes, they're human, so they're going to disagree, but that's not the premise of the show, is the drama. Right. It's a funny show with people that we know at this point and just want to see, not necessarily see them freak out on each other.
Right. Yeah.
Including Lauren and Angelina. I mean, I don't need to see
this little moment between them. Yeah, Angelina is upset because, people are calling her a toddler again, and she's not a child, and, whatever. She has her little tantrum. And then Jenny.
I think Lauren chose her words really well again when she sat here and said the same thing. She said, I never called you a toddler. I said that I have toddlers. And I think to some people, and even the first time I heard it, it came across as dismissive AF. And I don't blame Angelina for feeling the way that she felt when she heard that. It's not gaslighting, though. But I think she was being dismissive. Angelina still has a valid point, regardless of how she worded it. But again, she came across and she worded her words in a chosen way and tried to be really gentle and delicate about why she chose those words. But I still think they're both right.
Yeah. Well, Angelina still kind of threw her little fit, but then Lauren came in and she's conditioned to collect her and did the same exact thing that she did before. And it was so funny to me that Angelina didn't clock that. Like, Angelina didn't clock that. That it was the same exact thing, but yeah, crazy. It was funny. It was funny to me. And then they just kind of, they showed the band following Mike around, and obviously he finds out that this is what was happening on purpose. He thought that it's crazy no one ever told him at this point that, it was a prank. But then they kind of, after this little section, send Lauren away. And I was like, well, that was
that was all that they really.
Or did you already know she was mad, or like, what was that?
I mean, Lauren, they don't have all their spouses there right now, right? I think they brought Lauren in to be the special guest to confront the only drama that really happened this season, and, to sort of circle back and check in on that. And then, of course, they wanted to get in the pranks, and Lauren had a firsthand experience of the pranks, especially, obviously, the one with the band. So I think her time was expired. It wasn't for her to be out there the whole time. It's just the OG cast. But I don't think they even needed to bring her in the first place, if that really is the case. I mean, Mike also caught himself a little attitude and was trying to talk to Angelina like, don't you know how conversations work? I say what I want to say and you say what you want to say, and you have to be quiet when I'm talking. Had to give her a whole little toddler-sized review about how to have a back and forth conversation with somebody, I think Mike could have stood his own and defended Lauren without her having to tuck the kids in and come on out.
I know. And do the exact same thing she did before. Honestly, who they could have brought out as a special guest was Mike's doctor. That's who I wanted to hear from.
I would have loved that as a special guest, actually. And, you know, it would have been very informative. He's doing great. What a wonderful recovery.
Yeah, look at how much his hair has grown in. I mean, I don't love his hairstyle. I do think it's a little
terrible,
like My Little Pony, but it very much looked like a horse mane. Like, you know, it's all shaved, and then you got the mane coming out. Like, it was very My Little Pony, but I do like that they called him out and asked him directly about this. And I mean, he brought out his passport, and Justina looked at it and said, you know, it's only been stamped with Italy and Jamaica, and which I'm not surprised. But then Vinny calls it out and says, you know, he got it done in Jersey. He didn't actually.
I wonder how he knew. I mean, he probably maybe referred him, or he knew somebody that went there, but he definitely knew the answer to that question. He was sure.
Well, you know, I think part of it is just that, well, Mike lives in Jersey, and also he didn't get that passport till right before Jamaica. So he couldn't have went to Turkey and got it done anyways when they were joking about it.
Right. I don't know.
But he could have went to New York or somewhere else. I don't know how he knew Jersey, but.
Right. I mean, yeah. Wherever he got it. They did well. I mean, he had some kind of stamps in his passport, so they've obviously been traveling to some other places other than Jamaica, but obviously not Turkey, the land of hair plugs.
Yeah, well, and Mike had already had the hair plugs in before, well before him going on all these trips. But I was waiting the whole time for them to bring up Angelina singing. I'm like, oh my God, are they really not going to bring this up?
They brought it up for just a second, too, when they were talking about Dina and Vinny's little running relationship. But yes, this was
because they showed this in the beginning of the season and then never again. Like, how we never talked about this again? Maybe it's just because they didn't know she was in the studio until the season was airing. But they obviously, that's another thing where I'm like, did they watch the season or not? Because they were saying, what's it going to take the whole season, the whole reunion before this even got shown. So I'm like, okay, y'all either saw this or you didn't see it, because
they must have, maybe they heard her song like unedited or rough. I mean, they must have. They had to have heard it in some fashion. Yes. Official statement from Angelina herself. She says that the song is finished and it's going to come out. So you know that will probably work its way into our filming somehow.
I mean, what's it going to take for it to come out, though? I mean, I've been waiting.
What is it going to take?
I've been waiting this whole season for it to come out. But we do also, they throw in Snooki and Dina also singing this season, which I think that was just to kind of soften Angelina, because they knew they had to touch on this and they didn't want to completely embarrass her. But I mean, what was it going to take?
I thought it was some good trivia, though, that song that she was singing, that like every night you go and start a fight and I don't know what to do because I love you, or whatever the rendition is of that. I guess she's been singing that since the OG seasons all the time to like
a little.
Oh, hello. Am I back?
Sorry, ChickChat. Okay, we're back.
I think we're back. Yeah. But I guess she's been saying that the whole time, like since the OG seasons, that she would get people, I don't know what she said exactly, but pumped up or whatever, which I think is so ironic given the fact that Ronnie and Sammy used to just fight all the time. And they probably thought that she was singing about them.
That could actually help with that first episode of the third season where Sammy and Dina were not getting along at all. Maybe she thought, she heard her singing this song and was like,
this girl wrote a whole song about me. First a note, now a song.
Sing and get your ass beat, or sing and get your ass beat.
We're gonna sing and get our ass beat.
Yeah. But there was another thing too. I don't remember exactly what it was. Y'all can help me out with this, but that somebody said also was a reoccurring thing throughout the OG seasons, and they just now are showing it.
Tiki-taki.
Tiki-taki. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's been going on.
Imagine
as well. He's like, this is when they decided to show it, but I've been doing this forever. It's like, wow.
Yeah. I think that's what Dina told us, that they have been playing this at bars, that they played this even on A Shot at Love with all of like the girls on.
Yeah, it sounds like Vinny wasn't even the one that introduced it. He has just been playing it, but maybe he is.
I think he's the one that introduced it, and I'm sure he's the one that suggests it every single time that they play it. But
I thought that was fun. Yeah.
I thought that was funny too. And, you know, while they're talking about the bunny, the reason that they brought all that up was because they did touch on Eileen, which I was curious about, actually. This was information that I wanted from the reunion. I don't know where in the hell my pictures are of it. But I wanted to know what happened between the two of them. So we do find out that him and Eileen have been talking a little bit, he says, on Snapchat. So obviously they're not talking in a really serious manner. And he also says that he does not plan to bring her to Sammy's wedding, which makes me so sad because I'm sorry, even if you're dating her or not, fly the girl out and take her to Sammy's wedding. First of all, she's invited. Second of all, everyone likes her and likes you better when you're around her. So what a gift to not bring your little mopey, wet blanket attitude and bring Eileen. I mean, she's hot. She's a great date. You guys will have a wonderful time. Why not bring her?
Maybe he'll change his mind, but he's a chooch. So that's why he's, saying he's not going to bring her.
He is a chooch.
I think he'll bring his mom or Uncle Nino, and that'll be his date. Which, speaking of Uncle Nino, that was the other guest from Jamaica. This man is not from Jamaica.
This man is not. Period. Just is not in all the ways.
Took him 55 years to get this passport, although he has been trying for quite a few years. It sounds like he's had his visa for a while and whatever. I was like, I know there's a lot of like government stuff going on right now, so I'm not trying to make this political here, but watch this man get deported because we find out that he
can't now. He's an American citizen now.
Now he is. But this whole time they could have deported Uncle Nino.
Yeah, so. I mean, there's still some people getting detained, but he's a citizen, so he's
he's like, I did answer 20 questions. One of the questions was how many times I've been arrested, which was like 32.
A lot of times. It was a lot of times.
I'm guessing criminals out of here.
I'm guessing that this was probably a long time ago. He said he's been here for 50 years or whatever. This was probably I'm sure he was arrested when he was 20.
Even if you got arrested that many times in 10 years, that's 3 times a year to get arrested. Yes. I mean, and he spent time in prison because he was helping Mike out when Mike was in prison. He set him up with food and friends. I know. He spent some time in the clinker.
I think he's giving, not Italian mobster, but friend of Italian mob.
What's more American? Italian American than that. I mean, well, what's more American than that than to spend that much time in jail, honestly.
Honestly, the justice system at work here, okay?
But I love when they try to close caption Uncle Nino. They never can fully. I mean, I actually understood him better by not reading what he was saying. I don't know if that's just because I'm used to gibberish, but and I don't even have
what he was saying to Jenny here then about, because I guess the joke
take her back. He's like, now that I got my passport, because she said, we'll get married when you get your passport. He said, yeah, now I can take you and we can go get married. That's what he was saying.
Oh, okay.
He was saying, talking to
Zach, but yeah, I was just going off the subtitles, so I believe you.
Because it was just questions. Yeah, I think he was saying screw Zach. I will take you. We can go. Get this thing done like you promised me all those years ago.
Wow. So he's proposing a marriage to him.
To Jenny. He's always wanted a marriage with Jenny.
Yeah. You know, he can't figure out who's his favorite. I mean, late at night, he likes to have deep conversations with Angelina. He's over here winking and nodding to our girl Sammy over here, just pregnant, about to pop. He seems to have some kind of fetish for pregnant women all of a sudden. And then he's telling Jenny that he's going to take her out of the country and marry her. I mean, geez, Louise.
Let's remember that he likes Jenny originally for her tatas, and Sam's might look pretty good right now in the state she's in. And Angelina's more like a daughter, like not, you know, I don't think he wants to actually hook up with Angelina. I think he just sees her as like a pet or like a daughter that, you know, he kind of like a adopted child because he doesn't have kids. So he's like, you know, I'll adopt her.
He's got a lot of adult children now. So
I think where he really wants to be with is Jenny. He really likes that. Time in the hot tub, I think, just really swooned him. I think he's been about that ever since. If he can go back to that, he would stay there.
But. Right. The only thing that's on the top of my head that we didn't cover yet, that we definitely should is, I mean, they talked about Nicole's journey with meeting over the phone her adoptive mom. And we did not learn anything else new. I mean, it's always funny to watch her try and say hola to her mom. So I'll watch that scene over and over again gladly. It was really good to see. And it was funny to see the rest of the cast sort of reacting to it as well, because it was just such an awkward thing to watch.
Right.
But we do find out that she drunk texted her sister and said hola again.
Well, no, she said hello, but she got hola in response, so she didn't know how to respond to that, I'm sure. But I mean, you know, that's a start. Nicole isn't really like, I think she did it more to just know that they're still out there, like kind of, you know, get the feel of, you know, I think maybe medical information. She just kind of wanted to make sure of some things. Those are her kids on each hand, by the way. That's Grayson, I think. Okay. And I think she's got the other kid on the other hand. But yeah, it's a little strange. Okay. Just FYI.
What's like, is that a nose?
I think that's her son when he was little. But yeah, it's a weird spot and kind of looks a little interesting from afar. But yeah, so Nicole is still not completely open to like actually going to meet her mom or her biological mom, because she's still very content with her parents and her family. And I think a lot of people with adoption who come like really love like their family deal with this, like they don't want to upset the family that they're in by you know, seeking this out. I think she's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place a little bit. As supportive as her parents are, I think she still just doesn't want to hurt them, and she is probably just feels a little stuck on what she wants to do. I think this is going to take a lot of time, but I am kind of annoyed at MTV or Justina or whatever for even hinting that the next family vacation is going to be in Chile. Like, she even screamed out, "No, it's not."
I think it's very obvious that it's not going to be, and so I guess it could be like a funny joke. And hey, I mean, I don't see that as being too far off from the realm of possibilities. Nicole is the one who says that they're going to do this until they're in a nursing home, and maybe one day, I'm not saying next season or in 3 seasons, but maybe one day they will find themselves over there. So I like throwing it out there just to throw it out there because it gets the people going. But I do not think that they will be going anytime soon. And I think part
20th anniversary.
Yes, another 10 to 15 years probably. And I hope that her mom is around at that time, but obviously, you know, we all age. But I think part of her issue around this as well is she really doesn't want her family to know who she is until she trusts them. And it's going to be really hard to build trust with all these barriers without showing herself. So I think she's just really still confused about even what she wants out of these relationships and if it's worth taking the risk of showing who she is.
Well, and I think, I mean, I don't know. I know Jersey Shore has been pretty like far broadcasted, so it's possible that they've already seen her on TV before and don't know it's her. But also, I mean, if the sister is young enough, she might be able to tell by her voice. I mean, she's got a distinct voice and everything else. But regardless, I do think another part of it, other than just like her revealing herself, is like how you build that trust with them if you also don't want to communicate with them, because she's not really making an effort either to try to communicate with them to build that trust so then they can see her. So
Agreed.
yeah, I think that it'll take a lot of time for her to feel comfortable. I think as a lot of adopted kids always wonder where they come from and stuff, but now that she knows, I think she's just really content with that for now. And it's just going to take a lot of time for her to want more of a relationship. Although I do feel bad on the mom's end and stuff, because I'm sure that like they want to pursue more of a relationship with her. And it's got to be hard to like, yes, you know, you did a good thing for your kid, that your kid is happy and that she's got a nice family and everything. And then now that she's reached out a little bit, that she doesn't actually want more or even like to know you more, must kind of sting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, of course, because they've obviously lived their whole lives or this long without each other. And so I can't imagine a mom hearing from their daughter for the first time in this many years and not wanting more.
And only getting like a hola and a bunch of silence.
Yes. And at the same time, I at least hope that this mom has made a lot of peace prior to hearing from Nicole, and then after hearing from Nicole, hearing that she's so happy with her life and things like that. I hope that there's a lot of peace there as well that I just could never understand. But I just hope that for like the world being a kind place. I'm sure that this mom is, longing to have a connection of some kind. And I'm sure that Nicole is too, but like you said, I mean, it's just going to take a lot of time for her to sort all of her feelings out. And even if she's not feeling that way, that's allowed too. But it sounds like I think she said something in the reunion about, I really wasn't sure how I was going to feel. And then the emotions that I had were surprising. So I think it's just going to take a lot of time for her to feel those
processing things. And yeah, I mean, she also doesn't know anybody who's been through that before. I mean, Angelina's been through something similar, but her dad just straight up abandoned her. And, he was still around. Like, it didn't take much to find that man.
If her dad wanted a relationship with her, he could have had it a long time ago. Whereas I don't think that's the case here.
No, Nicole was adopted from a whole different country.
Never found her. Yeah.
Right. And it's not even like a adoption where like you're in the same country and stuff. Like this is from a whole different country. And I don't think she's known anybody who's been through that situation or even like an actual adoption before. I mean, right. Angelina still stayed with her same family. In fact, we find out in this reunion that the weirdest place she's ever done it is her dad's old bed. So obviously she knows her dad's family, probably even knows who her dad is, just didn't have any connection to him. Disgusting.
Imagine that being her only connection to him for however long until she met him when we saw it on the show. Imagine that being your only connection that you did yourself.
Surprised. I ain't surprised she'd be screwing bananas and candles and stuff at this point, hearing that.
Oh my God. Yeah, that was gross. I think I blacked out when I heard that. I totally forgot about that.
Everybody's mouth was open, except Ron looked pretty disgusted. I thought that was funny how they wanted Mike to answer that question. Like, he's like, well, no, it was just the wrong space and time. And I'm like, that's not what y'all said. Y'all said y'all didn't want your kids to hear this.
Yeah.
One day. That's not what you said. You said you weren't going to answer it because you don't want your kids to hear this. Now it was just the wrong time, and she came out at 12 o'clock. We were tired. Blah blah blah. I'm like, no, you just did not want that out there. And it probably wasn't even with Lauren, to be honest with you. This is the weirdest place that you've ever done it. I mean, I think that's
what all the sensitivity is around this question. Actually, is because it probably wasn't with Lauren's, and maybe it was with one of these people.
Could have been. Well, what I think's funny about that is like they could have also just answered that question as if it was just between him and Lauren. Like,
sure, okay, it's not like people know. Yeah, this isn't liar. You're not forced to tell the truth.
Could have made something up. Could have pulled a Amber from Match Me Abroad and said in a porta potty or something. I don't know. But the funny thing is that they asked Mike this question directly, like, are you ready to answer it now? And he said, oh, yeah. Never answers it. Then they just deflect it to Angelina.
And then Angelina answers it and reveals something that I'm sorry, but you should be embarrassed by if you're not. And it's like, geez, wasn't the whole point of this to put Mike back on the spot for the question that he avoided the whole time? I think Angelina was right about the hypocrisy of the whole thing. I truly believed her when she brought that up, because they always do treat her like that. And I think that it is kind of BS, but at the same time, I also felt the same exact way when, like, what Mike explained to her of, we were all winding down and getting tired. We had traveled all day, and then you show up and you had already wound yourself up, and we're just not on the same vibe. I felt that when I watched it. We talked about it when we covered it, that was the problem. That's what was going on. But
it wasn't the only problem.
Exactly.
It was like a fourth of the problem, maybe. Right. But they openly ask her these questions all the time. And it doesn't matter what level anybody else is on. Sometimes Angelina's not even in the mood for it, and they'll ask her these questions. Like, they don't care about what level everybody's on. So, I don't know. I just thought it was a funny way for everybody to still avoid the question while still throwing Angelina under the bus in that way. But I agreed with her that when it comes to the questions, people ask her questions that they would not ask each other, or maybe want asked for themselves, especially Mike and Lauren now. I mean, mainly because of Lauren, because I'm sure Mike would answer these questions on his own time if this was original season.
He certainly would, yeah.
But now that he's got his, My Little Pony hairstyle and Lauren's there, it's a little different.
It looks like he has a dunce hat on in this.
And you know what? I know what he says. Like, I understand the whole not wanting your kids to see that. And honestly, like, I don't know why Angelina be airing herself out like that. I know she wants a kid one day. That's what she always talks about.
Right.
Why would you want your kids to know any of this stuff about you? I mean, like, the stuff you already do on the show is pretty gross. I wouldn't want people to know that a friend taught me how to screw a banana. That's insane. Why does someone, for one, have to teach you how to do that? And how does that come up in, like, hanging out? Like, I've hung out with many a woman, and nobody's ever had to teach me to screw anything.
Do any of that. And I've even gone to, pure romance parties and things where the whole purpose of joining up with a bunch of ladies is to talk about things like that, but never has a banana entered the chat.
And I think everybody got confused.
Unpeeled banana.
Well, no, I think people got confused because what they said was, what do you clean the banana and then eat it? And she's like, you don't even have to, you can peel it. And I think everybody thought that she meant that she screwed an unpeeled banana. It's not even, it's going to break. It's not even
right. Yeah. So and there's no way that you would be able to peel a banana after doing that.
Then candlestick. They didn't even ask her about the candlestick. Like, was it lit? Like,
no, it couldn't have been lit, or she would be dead.
Well, I mean, she could have put it out with a putang, but
I know, but I think that would cause some kind of shock. I don't know. I've never done it. Never done any of that.
I just think, all these foreign objects is interesting, but not what I was expecting to hear or really wanting to hear. Kind of made my insides turn, and that happens a lot for me right now because I'm like 6 months pregnant, you guys. I just didn't need it like that.
Right. Sensitive insides. Yeah. So what else? What are we missing? I feel like that's about it.
Yeah. I mean, other than them running marathons and just little things that I just didn't really care about.
Apparently Ronnie wants to be an actor, and he's
I would love to see that. See his laugh.
I would hate to see that.
I'd watch it. To see his laugh on Criminal Minds or something, I would just die. I couldn't take it seriously. It would be really hard. I feel like he's auditioning for the wrong roles, but
yeah, I think Ronnie would have to work 10 times as hard, if not more, as any other actor just to get on any kind of show, because he'd actually have to have real acting skills because people know him as him. And so you have to really, unless you're showing up, on a show as yourself, which it doesn't sound like he's wanting to do, he's going to have to really do well in his acting.
I think it was more realistic what Jenny said is just to play a dead body.
She said she's been wanting to do that for 20 years.
I don't blame her. I mean, it's an easy thing. You go in, you get yourself made up a little, and you sit in a bloody bag and somebody zips you. I mean, why not? You don't have to do anything. You have to act. You just got to be dead.
Right.
Kind of. I mean, you might have to do little reenactments, maybe, if they kind of do those. But
yeah, probably just a couple of shots. Different angles.
Yeah, I will say Sammy didn't really say much at all this reunion. She just seemed kind of pissy, especially after the whole note thing got brought up, and so much you glorify him for that, and it's like,
whatever.
Okay, it's been like 20 years. Like,
honestly,
we can get past what he did. I think Vinny was making more of a point of them being in the cafe, like the actual writing of the note and the whole process of the note is still talked about to this day, just because it was funny. They sat at an internet cafe kind of thing, and they just sat there and wrote a note, and they're like, oh, should we use pink font?
It's to this day probably right up at the top of one of the most classic scenes from Jersey Shore, and it really involves almost everybody. I mean, it's hilarious. All the cheating allegations from the night before, and then the girls, and trying to tell that to Sammy, but at the time there was this huge rift because of all the drama that was going on. It really, I think, sums up Jersey Shore in such a neat way, just to think about the note and how all of that happened. I mean, that was that we all experienced that relationship, Sammy. And I think that we all are entitled to have just a little bit of a laugh now that you are both happily adjusted and moved on. Okay. It's been 15 years coming for Ronnie to be well adjusted. Okay.
Well, I kind of figured out too, actually, a couple weeks ago when I was kind of looking into Ron and Sam's relationship a little bit, because I always assumed that they broke up in like 2012, 2014 for good.
No.
They went on a trip to Italy in 2016, like more towards the end of the year. And then that next year he had a girl pregnant. So I can see why things are really awkward between them, because I'm sure they really ended for her when he got that girl pregnant. And that's crazy.
I know. I think I had heard that they had broken up shortly before that happened, and that this girl that got pregnant was like a rebound sort of situation. Well, but that's the exact thing with a rebound. You're always still a little bit open, and then it's like, bam, he got a girl pregnant. And I couldn't imagine.
Yeah, and she had like an engagement in between that and now as well. That fell through with some guy looked like Ron too. I mean, she's got a type, but I thought that was quite interesting. I know he also had his little fling with Malika too, but I think that was more in between, like a different time that they were dating, like before 2000. I think it was maybe around 2016, but like before they went to Italy and stuff together, because they did go on like a solo trip to Italy together. So just like when someone brought up like, oh, we should go back to Italy again, I was like, how awkward, because Ron and Sam, both times that they've probably been to Italy was with each other.
Yeah, and I think they should all go back to Italy again. So third time's a charm, I guess, for these two.
Poor Snooki. I don't know. I mean, I know she wasn't allowed back in Italy for a little bit, but for her to like have to really, I mean, that was her messy season when she's screaming for Gianni and the cobblestone.
Hated watching that. I still, to this day, I watch Jersey Shore. It's like one of my comfort shows just to have on in the background. And if that episode is not, I won't watch it. I don't know what kind of weird like relational trauma it brings out in me, but I just can't watch that night. It's just it upsets me to no end, the miscommunication that happened between the two of them, and then all this like just drunken walking through the streets and sadness, and then he's going to the train station, and we're meeting at the train station, but we're still leaving, and no one wants to leave. Like the whole thing is just like life is happening to them and they're not doing anything about it, and it just makes my skin crawl. I don't know what it is.
But it was the first season where Ron and Sam were like good the whole time.
Normal. Yes, they were so normal, and they were like, oh, this is what it's like for you guys to see us. And I mean, they only had to have like a 4-day version of it. I mean, other cast was doing this for seasons.
And then they kind of calmed down a little after that. The only fight really with Ron was between Ron and Mike.
You mean Mike and the wall?
Yeah, kind of. It started with Ron and it ended with the wall.
Yeah. That was a classic season. I would like to see them go back to Italy, though. I think as adults, as regular people now, especially the things that they do family vacation types of activities now. So I think it would just be cool to see Italy in that way as well.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I mean, I don't have much else to say about this reunion. Do you?
No, I think that was really about it. PSA to anyone, I guess, who needs it, since Dina didn't know, but a BBL is not just a shape of your body. It is an actual surgical procedure.
Imagine how many people she's told she's got a BBL. I'm surprised it wasn't in a magazine at this point.
I'm sure it could have been probably somewhere.
But it's classic Dina, and honestly, I'm surprised I even know what a BBL is. I probably would have been admitting to that too, been like, oh yeah, BBL, yeah. That's good. But then they take a shot of some non-alcoholic beverages because half the people there have either been in rehab or have an issue with alcohol.
Right. Yeah. It's great. I think there's definitely less people now that drink than there are people, or there's more people that don't drink than there are people that do drink. And
all the girls seem fine.
All the girls definitely do drink, that is for sure. But I mean, depending on pregnancies and breastfeeding, I mean, they're kind of, taking bows out here and there as well.
Yeah.
I think Sammy's the only one left when it comes to that. And Lord knows if Angelina decides to get knocked up from a one-night stand or whatever.
Or whatever they tried to, the preview they tried to give us as well, trying to tease it. Angelina's pregnant.
I wonder who it is, though. I feel like they might have just found that on the street.
I think that it's either a prank or something.
Yeah.
It's got to be a prank. What's it going to take for me to figure out?
What's it going to take to get that woman a man and a baby?
Well, we know it's going to take at least a couple months till we see these guys again. They're not coming back until 2026. Yeah. By then, I'll have my own baby. So we will keep you guys updated when Jersey Shore comes back. But that's what it's going to take. That's the new year.
That's what it will take for the next time. So we will catch you all in 2026 if you follow us for Jersey Shore only. But we cover a lot of shows. We cover some Netflix shows. We cover Sister Wives, other reality shows. We just wrapped up covering Match Me Abroad on TLC. So yeah, join us. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't yet. I'm seeing a lot of people that are watching are not subscribed. So join us. What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? What's it going to take?
What's it going to take?
What's it going to take to get y'all to subscribe?
For you.
And then, just remember we also have Sister Wives coming back next week. We'll be back covering that. And we're also going to do a little Cody's Corner where we talk about Special Forces. So, and if there's any other shows you guys would like us to start covering, just let us know in the comments. We'll check it out,
Yeah, feel free to what it'd take. I watched Plathville, by the way, like a crazy maniac, but it's just
I've seen a lot of shorts about Plathville lately.
It's so good. If we fall into a lull, like where Sister Wives is low or whatever, I might just have you jump into this season because I can catch you up. But this has just been wild. But yeah, we haven't had the capacity to cover all that. That's just too many shows to cover. We only film one day a week, and we are regular people as well. So, but yeah, give us suggestions. We're open to all of them. We'll probably watch them and maybe not cover them, or if you're lucky, we will cover them.
And that's what's going to take. But
that's what it's going to take is at least a suggestion and to like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, copy the link, whatever you got to do. You don't even got to share it. Just help us out. Likes are really helpful, actually. So definitely like the video if you can. It's just a click for you, but it means so much to us. Anyway, and also I think we're going to start bringing back Story of the Week as well. We need to film some more. My husband actually took my hard drive with him to Poland because he's deployed there right now. So I don't have the last story that I keep saying that I'm going to upload, but I keep forgetting to upload. So I don't even have that on me, but I'm hoping to get it sent to me so I can upload it. But yeah, we're going to have to start filming Story of the Week, I think, especially now that we're going down to just Sister Wives. So
agreed. Yes. So stay tuned for that, and we will catch you all on the flip side. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Yep. Remember, reduce, reuse, recycle, Rihanna, and good boy.
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 Bye.